The wind blows across the empty plains, carrying dust, silence, and secrets of the frontier. Welcome back, folks. Pull up close to the fire. Tonight's tale is one whispered across the Wild West, a story about a shy young rancher, a proud Apache woman, and a confession that stirred the entire valley: I haven't had sex in 6 months. Our story begins in the late summer of 1885, in a remote stretch of land where the red desert met tall pine forests. Here lived a 23-year-old rancher named Eli Dawson. Tall, broad-shouldered, gentle, and as bashful as the sunrise. Folks in town called him the Virgin Rancher, though never to his face. Eli wasn't inexperienced by choice. He simply grew up isolated, working cattle alone since his parents passed away, leaving him the homestead at only 14. But tonight's story isn't about his loneliness, not exactly. It's about how everything changed the day he crossed paths with a woman who would shake the dust off his quiet world. It was an early morning when Eli rode out toward the canyon ridge, searching for a calf that had strayed. As he rode deeper into Apache lands, territory he normally avoided, he noticed something strange. Broken branches. Dried streaks of blood. Heavy footprints. And then, a sound. A sharp cry echoing from between the rocks. Eli dismounted, rifle in hand, heart pounding. He rounded the bend, expecting a wounded deer, but instead, he saw her. A towering Apache woman, taller than most men, lean, strong, with long black hair tangled with feathers. She was pinned to the ground by a fallen log, her leg trapped and bleeding. Yet even injured, she stared at Eli with a gaze fierce enough to cut stone. He had heard whispers about her tribe. They had 2 legendary sisters, one, the hunter, the other, the warrior. Judging by her size and presence, he knew which one she was. Don't come closer, she warned through clenched teeth. I do not need help from a white rancher. Eli swallowed nervously. Ma'am, you ain't going nowhere with your leg pinned like that. Let me lift it. She glared. Touch me, and I will break you. But then the log shifted, sending a wave of pain through her body, and she gasped. Her pride cracked for a moment. Fine, she muttered. Help me. Eli dug his boots into the dirt and strained against the heavy log. His muscles burned, sweat rolled down his brow, but after a few seconds of effort, he managed to lift it just enough for her to drag her leg free. She collapsed back, breathing hard. You are strong, for a boy, she muttered. I'm 23, Eli replied. You still look like a boy. He wasn't sure whether it was an insult or a compliment. Her leg was bleeding, but not broken. Eli tore a strip from his shirt and wrapped the wound carefully. She flinched but did not cry out. When he finished, she studied him with curious intensity. You risked entering Apache land. You helped me. Why? Eli shrugged shyly. Didn't seem right to leave anyone hurt. The woman smirked. Most men fear me. I was, a little scared, he admitted honestly. She laughed, a deep, bold sound. Good. He helped her stand, and though she tried to hide it, she leaned slightly into his shoulder for balance. What's your name? He asked. Yana, she said. Second daughter of Chief Gray Talon. He had heard of her father. Some said he was the last great chief in the region. Yana pointed toward the canyon. My village is that way. Take me. Eli hesitated. Your people don't, well, they don't usually welcome strangers. You are not going as a stranger, Yana replied. You are going as the man who saved me. And so, with careful steps, they walked together into the heart of Apache land. Warriors emerged from the trees, bows drawn, but lowered them when they saw Yana. She introduced Eli as the one who had saved her life. Chief Gray Talon appeared shortly after, towering nearly as large as his daughter. He nodded slowly. You have my thanks, rancher. Eli bowed awkwardly. The chief then ordered his people to bring food, water, and bandages. Eli stayed only an hour before preparing to leave. But as he mounted his horse, Yana called out. Come back tomorrow. I owe you something. Eli blinked. You owe me? Yes, she said, voice firm. Do not make me repeat myself. He gulped. I'll be here. That night, Eli barely slept. Not out of fear, but because he could not get the image of Yana's fierce eyes out of his mind. When he returned the next morning, the entire Apache camp seemed to be expecting him. Yana limped over, her leg already improving. She stood in front of him, arms crossed. I owe you a truth, she said. A truth? Yes. A confession. And I want to see if you are man enough to hear it. The villagers leaned in, secretly curious. Even the chief seemed intrigued. Yana stepped closer, so close Eli could feel the heat radiating from her strong frame. I haven't had sex in 6 months, she announced bluntly. Eli nearly fell off his horse. The warriors burst into laughter. The women giggled behind their hands. Eli's face turned bright red. Ma'am, that's, not something I should know. You saved my life, Yana said simply. I owe you something important. So I give you honesty. Eli sputtered awkwardly. You could have just said thank you. No, she replied. I wanted to see how you react. My sister says men become weak when women speak plainly. Eli shook his head vigorously. No ma'am. I mean, yes ma'am. I mean, I ain't weak. I'm just surprised. Yana smiled knowingly. I can tell you are a virgin. He froze. How do you know? It is obvious. Eli had never wished harder for the earth to open and swallow him whole. But then something unexpected happened. Yana's expression softened. Not mocking. Not judgmental. Soft. You are kind. You are gentle. You help without asking price. Men like that are rare. Eli felt his heart thump in a way it never had. Over the next days, Yana insisted he return to the village. Each time, she challenged him, sometimes with questions, sometimes with strength contests, and sometimes just teasing him until he blushed crimson. One evening, she showed him how to track deer. Another day, she taught him how to braid horsehair ropes the Apache way. She limped less and less each day. Before long, the village began whispering. Even Chief Gray Talon noticed the way his daughter looked at the rancher. One night, the chief approached Eli as he was saddling his horse. You have impressed my daughter, the chief said. Eli swallowed. I didn't mean to. Exactly. That is why you did. The chief studied him closely. You are innocent. Honest. A man who chooses peace over pride. My daughter could do worse. Eli blinked. Sir. I don't understand. The chief stepped closer. Yana has reached the age where she must choose a partner. Only one who earns her respect may court her. And she respects you. Eli's breath caught. The chief's gaze hardened. But listen well. My daughter is strong. Fierce. Stubborn. If you wish to pursue her, you must prove you can stand beside her. Eli nodded slowly. I don't know if I'm strong enough. But you have heart, the chief said. Strength without heart is useless. When the chief walked away, Yana approached quietly. What did my father say? He said you respect me. Yana rolled her eyes. I did not think he would tell you that. And he said, Eli hesitated. He said I could court you. Yana raised an eyebrow. Do you want to? Eli looked at her, really looked at her. The confidence, the power, the fire in her spirit. And yet, beneath it all, a softness she rarely showed. Yes, he said finally. Yana stepped close, towering over him just slightly. Good, she murmured. Then I will teach you something else. Eli's face turned red immediately. Not that. She burst into laughter. Not that, rancher. Relax. I mean something important. She guided him to the top of a ridge overlooking the moonlit valley. My people believe that when two souls stand here together, she said, they can see the future the spirits intend for them. Eli stared at the view, the vast desert glowing under the night sky. I don't see anything, he whispered. Yana slipped her hand into his, not romantically yet, but with trust. Look again. He breathed slowly, and for the first time in his life, he didn't see loneliness or emptiness ahead. He saw possibility. I think I see it now, he said. Good, she replied softly. Because I see it too. In the weeks that followed, Eli visited the Apache village daily. Yana healed completely, and soon enough, she was back to being the strongest warrior in her tribe, but she always made time to walk with him, talk with him, and tease him mercilessly. She never repeated her infamous confession, but sometimes she reminded him with a smirk. 6 months is a long time, rancher. Eli eventually learned how to respond without fainting. I reckon, that ain't my business. Not yet, she'd tease. But slowly, their teasing turned into warmth. Warmth into trust. And trust into something deeper. One evening, as the sun set over the valley, Yana stood before him, hands behind her back. I have another truth, she said. Eli braced himself. I said that to you, the thing about 6 months, because I wanted to see if you were like other men. But you weren't. You did not use my words. You did not stare at me like prey. You looked away. Eli scratched his neck nervously. Well, you deserved respect. And you gave it, she said softly. More than most. She stepped closer and placed something in his hand. A braided band made of horsehair and feathers. What's this? He asked. A courting band, she said. If you wear it, it means you choose me. Eli stared at it, stunned. And, if I wear it, what does it mean for you? It means, she said gently, that a warrior of the Apache has chosen you back. His heart pounded. Slowly, he tied the band around his wrist. Yana smiled, not fierce, not mocking, but beautifully, softly. Then, for the first time, she leaned down and touched her forehead to his. A gesture of deep intimacy in her culture. A silent promise. The entire valley would later speak about the unlikely match between the shy virgin rancher and the giant warrior sister of the Apache tribe. Some laughed. Some doubted it. But those who saw them together knew the truth. Two souls from different worlds had found something rare on the frontier, respect, courage, and a bond strong enough to cross borders and silence every rumor. And as for Yana's bold confession, it became part of their story, a moment they'd laugh about for years. I haven't had sex in 6 months, she teased him one night. Eli smiled shyly. Yeah, but now you've got someone who listens before he panics. And she laughed, pulling him close under the starlit sky. 2 hearts. 1 valley. A love no frontier could tame.